right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. As always, it's Keith, Chris, and Adam. Alex is out for the evening. But tonight we're going to talk about Jimbo Fisher and the Texas A&M Aggies and if it's time to hit the panic button. But before we get into that, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We've grown to over 165 subscribers now, so that's really great. Really, our family's growing. Please come and help us do that. It's free to you. Make sure you drop some comments and some likes on those videos. We definitely appreciate those, and we'll get back to you with whatever you think. You can let us know if we're being crazy or if we're right on the point or right on the money. So, like I said, we're going to get into Jimbo Fisher, who obviously has not had a very good year this year. I think they're 4-4, 3-5, 3-5. So coming off that first loss to South Carolina ever, and then getting beat by Ole Miss last week at home. Not to mention getting beat by App State at home this year, when they were ranked number 6 in the nation. So,
and the Mississippi State loss.
Yeah, lost Mississippi State.
And they lost pretty bad in Mississippi State. So, after looking at some of the numbers, I think it might be time to hit some panic on old Jimbo. He's if you compare his first, this is what his fourth year.
Third year.
Third year. So if you compare his third year to Kevin Sumlin's third year, there's not much difference.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Sumlin actually had a better record than he's had through 3 years. So I think it might be time to start checking that panic button, or at least checking in and seeing
what's going on.
What's going on? Do we need to do something else? Because apparently that NIL is not really helping you that much. So
yeah,
I feel like if you lose another conference game out of the West, so if you lose to Auburn this year,
or to Florida
or LSU, now I'll give you the East. I'll let you get away with. If you lose to the East, it doesn't affect your standings in the West. It's not.
I mean, it doesn't help you because it's a conference loss.
Yeah, it's a conference loss altogether.
Schedules,
but if you can beat, but if every year if South Carolina said, all right, I can beat everybody in the East, and say we played Alabama and somebody else every year, and Alabama was your permanent rival, and you said, yeah, we lose to Alabama. I'm good with if you beat everybody else in your side of the conference and lose one of the two out of the West. I'm all right with that. As an A&M fan, you got to be thinking like, hey,
what's going on?
Well, not only that, but something's got to happen. We got to beat Auburn. We got to beat LSU. Like, I got to win my division game. Now, again, in this case, who do they play every year, though? South Carolina, right?
South Carolina's
South Carolina, we're a permanent rival on that side, but for them this year, they have Florida as the other pair.
Yeah, but for you expect, you got to beat South Carolina.
They still played Georgia since they came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so I mean, you got to think. You got to think. I got to beat South Carolina. If in 5 years span, I got to beat them 3, if not 4 times. Theoretically, just the way South Carolina program has been, we hadn't beat them in 8 years. We just beat them for the first time this year. So you got to think. 3 out of 4. I got to win those.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's time to all right. I need answers, or else you got to hit the road.
Yeah, I look at the rest of their schedule and I say you got to beat Florida, got to beat Auburn, got to beat UMass. You probably lose to LSU, right?
You probably lose to Florida.
Well,
depending on which Florida team shows up.
I hope they don't lose to Florida, but
the thing is, right now you got a hurt A&M team. Like they can't figure out what's going on at quarterback. You thought you were gonna have was it Mac Johnson? Is that his name?
Yeah, Max Johnson.
And you thought he was gonna be your answer, and then is it a freshman?
Yeah, King's been terrible. Wegman is currently playing at this point. He threw for 338 yards against Ole Miss this past week, but I mean,
still awesome.
Yeah, I still you look at it and you go, okay, if we can go 3-1, we can beat Florida, Auburn, UMass. We're gonna put ourselves at 6-6. We're gonna go to a bowl game. Let's say we win it, we go 7-6. We just fucking call a season, right? Like it's in the books, it's over, it's behind us. It is what it is. Because I mean, there's some good wins on here. There's some bad losses, like App State, bad loss. Is Miami a good win at this point? I mean, Miami's a pretty terrible team. Is Arkansas a good win? I would still say yeah. They probably shouldn't even won that game to begin with.
No.
But
it's still a good. But in this case, it is a good win.
In this case, it's a good win. You get blown out by Mississippi State. You almost beat Alabama at Alabama. And at this point, like you kind of should have beat Alabama. You were there, you had the play, you just called the wrong play. South Carolina's a bad loss, especially even at South Carolina. And then Ole Miss this past week, you were beating Ole Miss the whole damn game, and you let them come back and beat you. So I think if you're an A&M fan, you should be upset. You should be calling for Jimbo Fisher. But when you roll over these numbers and you go, hey, it's going to cost us $86 million to buy out Jimbo Fisher at the end of this year, you're not going to do it. Whether you like it or not, it's not going to happen.
No.
So I think for me, I look at this and I go, okay, Jimbo just had a number 1 recruiting class. If I get 2 years down the road at the end of 2024,
and it still hadn't done
and it
anything,
still hadn't gotten any better, you might have to bite the bullet on the 67.5. I mean, that's a lot of money, but you might have to bite the bullet on the $67.5 million there.
Kevin Sumlin had a better record than him in his first 3 years, and they thought Kevin Sumlin was a god when he came in there.
Yeah, I mean, I almost I know you beat Alabama last year, and I get
That was
that's
a fluke win though too.
I mean, maybe. I mean, hell, they almost beat Alabama this year, right? So for those A&M fans sitting behind the camera going, it wasn't just a fluke win. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. You know, it was a good win, and I mean, you went 8-4, and then you look at 2020, and you went 9-1 in the COVID season. Yeah, with the loss to Alabama was the only loss for you, but I mean, I don't know, did Kevin really deserve this giant contract that he just got? That's the big question that I'm asking. Or sorry, yeah. What I call Kevin Sumlin. Kevin Sumlin deserves every giant contract he got. Just kidding.
Out in Arizona.
He got fired from Arizona.
There you go.
So, but does Jimbo deserve this, ginormous contract, this $95 million contract?
Well, look at that. It's fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
Fully guaranteed.
I want to know who that man's sports agent is.
that's what I'm saying. That's who I want to get in touch with.
He called up the NBA and was like, give me your best sports agent. Because everybody over there getting fully guaranteed contracts. So
He knew somebody that knew somebody.
How do you get a fully guaranteed contract of $90-something million?
how do you get a 10-year fully guaranteed contract? So
They thought he was God.
apparently.
And he's the second coming of Nick Saban.
Any last thoughts?
No, I think it's time to hit that panic button.
Yeah.
Or at least open the case, right?
Yeah, definitely. So
Flip it up.
Be
just
prepared.
get it
look at
get it primed.
Let it start lighting up on you. Let it start.
Get it primed.
So, all right, hit us in the comments. Let us know whether you think it's time for A&M to let Jimbo Fisher go, or when you think it should be time for them to let Jimbo Fisher go. As always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.